What a great way to start a stream. I didn't even plug in my mic. I'm just gonna play some random Zelda music while I do, just a little bit of promotion, just trying to notify everyone that I'm streaming right now. So just bear with me. I'm gonna do Megaman remixes and all that, but yeah, just give me a second. Otherwise, just enjoy this music. Alright, perfect. Actually, no, I'll play something else real quick. I'm just gonna do. Just gotta notify a few more people, and then we can start. And actually, I'm not gonna start with these remixes. I'm actually gonna remix. Where is it? This boss music from a game called Legend of Mana. I'll just play it as I go about my things, but it's a really fun game. Like, I would definitely recommend checking it out. But yeah, just take a listen to this remix I'm working on. Okay, let's get started. That's not exactly what I was expecting it to sound like. It still needs work, but it's yeah. Honestly speaking, I don't like. I think the original, like from the game, actually just sounds a whole lot better than whatever the hell I just did. Actually, I feel like I want to work on it a bit, but at the same time, I feel like I just want to just get these. Oh, you can just hear it in my voice. I just love doing this. I just want to get these out of the way, man. Like, man, or whoever you are. I don't know who you are, but yeah, I'm just gonna. I know. Once I'm like, I only have to do these once. Okay, I'll just clean them up real quick. So yeah, it's this is probably gonna be a boring stream. I'll probably be mute a lot of the time. I might try and explain what I'm doing, but for the most part, it's pretty much just like what I was doing last stream. It's just go through go through each of these tracks, change out some instruments, and then remove all the clutter, and then move on to the next one. So making good progress here. I don't wanna stop that because I really don't like these remixes. But yeah, I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm just playing like I just prefer the other like I just prefer different tracks to work on. But you know, part of the project is just do them all basically, just do all the tracks. But yeah, that being said, if you have any questions, feel free to chat. Feel free to ask me. Otherwise, I'm just gonna mute myself and try and get through this as quickly as I can. So let's see how quick, or let's see how far I can get with this. Also, I just want to make a note. I've noticed I've fallen into a pretty nasty habit here where I'll pretty much just go to the same exact piano over and over and over again. And it kind of kills the creativity. It kind of kills the fun. So what I'm going to do might look a little confusing, but I'm just going to go through all these sound banks and basically just try and come up with some new instruments to play around with. It doesn't really affect the process. It's not really going to take me long, but figured I would at least explain a little bit of what I'm trying to do here, because there's a lot of like each of these names here has like I'll show you. I guess that's a bad example. Let's see here. Keybase. Okay, that's also a bad example. If I went up to church combo, see like each of the like that church combo folder has like these subfolders in it, which blah blah blah. It's just I'm just gonna be digging through a lot of sounds. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to explain what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna get back to it. Just real quick, I'll explain what I'm doing. So just like last stream, again, I don't know if you're watching, this is like the first video you're watching, or if you've been following along, but what I'm doing with all these is, so to sum it up, I get 14, it says 13, but it's actually 14. I get 14 tracks to play with, each of these little instruments, and I already preloaded in the notes into each of them. Not each of them, just the ones that I needed, so to explain it simply, it's basically just like I took the drum notes, put it in the drums, the bass notes, put it in the bass. But a lot of these tracks only use up. I should use a different word because I feel like tracks is kind of a bad example. Each of these songs has a different track that they need to for the instruments, right? Different instruments. Some of the notes are mapped to drums, bass, lead, strings, but okay, how do I explain this without sounding like an idiot? This is my template file. I'll take these MIDI files in, which is the files that have all the notes in them, and then I'll assign them to each of these instruments. If that song file, that MIDI file, has only 5 tracks, then I just import them into the first 5. And the rest of it becomes wasted space, which for a guy like me, I guess, with limited resources here, it's not a good thing to have. So what I'm doing is I come here, or like I know there's going to be a drum bass lead, like it's pretty much a given, but what I'm doing here is I come here, I click on all, and if I see the red X highlight, then I know there's something in there, so I move on to the next one. There's something in there. In this pad, there's nothing, even if I click all. So it's pretty safe to assume that from pad to 13, it's all going to be empty. So with that in mind, now I just start erasing them. I just take them out. And what this lets me do is, for example, if I like this bass line, and I wanted to add another one, so how do I'll just, again, it's kind of weird to explain because there's no one in this stream right now, so I'm literally just talking to myself here, but the reason I freed up all that space is now I can start duplicating these instruments and making cool effects. Like maybe, again, maybe I like that bass noise, so I'll come to the bass, put my cursor at 0, select all the notes, copy, and I'll go down to that bass instrument, make sure I'm back at 0, and hit paste. So now, I'll just make it a piano. I mean, it's so now, if I go to the mixer, you can see now let's say for whatever reason I wanted to bring in the piano at a later part of the song so I could start automating it. Anyway, it's a quick summary of what I'm trying to do here. So again, I'm just gonna try and blast through these, so once they're done, they're done. And I mean, I can kind of tell already, like a lot of these songs I don't really enjoy like that much, so I'm not gonna put too much effort into them. Maybe just do a quick instrument swap and just move on to something else. But if it's a track I like or a song I like, then I'll dedicate a fair amount of time to it, like I've done in the past. But enough talking. Let's just get through this. I don't mean to cut it off early. That's a decent track. I kind of like that one. It's got a nice vibe to it. So, but unfortunately, I'm not gonna spend too much time just yet. I'm just gonna blast through these. I don't know why I have to keep turning on the mic to re-explain that. I'm actually just gonna shut up now until someone shows up. So I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I'm just gonna work away at this. I don't know if you've heard it, and it's probably like a very low chance you've heard it, but if you've ever heard the Tick's main theme, like that old cartoon show with the big blue guy and what was like Moss guy's name, Arthur? I don't know. What I'm saying is this sounds like the theme song to the Tick. Yeah, forgot about the take. This track is sick. That rhymed. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely work on that. See, this is what I like about this little project. It's like I don't really listen to this stuff. You know, I've heard little bits and snippets of it, but like, you know, just working with them a little bit, and you can start to appreciate them a little bit more and more. And Dark Man. Yeah, so each of these bosses are named like Charge Man, Crystal Man, Gravity Man. You get what I mean? So I don't know. When they came up with this name, I don't think they thought it through that much. Anyway, I'll shut up and I'll just keep working on it. Hey Christian, have you ever thought about Megaman Battle Network music? Well, to be honest with you, I have. But they're really rudimentary right now, like they're really, really basic. Crap, I wish I had I did a Battle Network 6, a remix for the boss battle music. But, I'll show you what I have in terms of Battle Network. I have, where is it? I was working on in Battle Network 3, the final boss, Alpha. I was working on that a little bit. That's a trippy effect. You should do MMBN 5 and Battle Network 4 and Battle Network 3 Alpha. So, oh, thank you. It's just like, I tampered around with it a little bit. I wish I had my, what do you call it? That Battle Network 6 remix. Like, I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh, bro, check it out on my channel. Like, I really don't want to be that kind of guy, but if I had it on me, I would show it to you, man. Like, trust me, I've spent hours on that remix. I wanted to ask you, could you clarify what you mean about Battle Network 5 and 4? Like, what are you looking for from them? Because I could get the other midis, but I basically broke it down to like look, like I don't want to work on something like this, right? But like I want to work on them. Like I could work on it. It's not a big deal, but I was trying to aim for like a bit of consistency here, so. 3 onwards, there should be, like the battle music, the boss battle music, the internet theme, the Navy customizer, and then the final boss. So that's kind of the plan of attack here. That I'm gonna, so again, battle, boss, internet, Navy cust, and I guess tournament. But, yeah, if you could just clarify what you mean, I'd really appreciate it, man. But, yeah, no, that's the plan. I plan on covering the Battle Network tracks. So right now I'm just trying to get the classic ones out of the way, just because it's I don't know, I feel like if I do the heavy lifting now, I can enjoy more of this later on. In terms of Battle Network, though, I could show you the internet theme I was working on. It's kind of bad, though. Yeah, that one had a bit of a weird sound to it. Something like this. Battle Network 4 internet theme. Oh yeah. Boss battle 2 in Electown. So no, just give me 1 second here. I'm gonna try and do something here. Just give me a second. So you're saying to do, okay, the 5DS boss remix in Nebula Grain. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll write it down somewhere. Whatever, I'll just type it. So yeah, just give me 1 second here, man. And I'm glad you like the remix. Yeah, It's a pretty catchy track. I like it, man. I like it a lot. Not what I did. I mean, like the original is just catchy. You have some amazing remixes. Oh shit. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. No, it's all good. I'm not too concerned about the views. I mean, honestly, I barely promote myself, so I mean, like, to kind of get what I deserve. Speaking of Battle Network remixes, I'll show you the Electown one I was working on. This is before I did this whole project. I guess I'll show you the more recent version. I was, fighting with this one, trying to get it to sound good, but yeah, I think I gave up on this one. But I can show you a few of the. It's the same track. I mean. Yeah, there's not many differences on this, but I'll admit, when I actually worked on Electown, like, I had a huge rush of nostalgia from like the first time I played Battle Network 4. I played Red Sun, but oh man, like just hearing that track, it's so nostalgic. Anyway, so this is the Battle Network 6 boss remix that I did, and again, like I didn't want to be the guy saying like just check out my channel, like I'll show it to you. It's kind of long, so I'll just shut up for a bit. So yeah, that track's a little bit long, like about 4 minutes. But oh man, if you're wondering about all these patterns and like, okay, so the reason I did that zoom out was just so you could see all the tracks at once. But I basically went through the track and I took out chunks of notes to rearrange them. So I'll just give you a quick example. Of course, it doesn't play when I do that. Where is it? Yeah, it's a bad example, but basically it's like I just went through the track, chopped up all those little chunks, and then I rearranged it. So I don't know if you like if it's noticeable, but that intro section, like not came up with, but I rearranged it so it just sound different. I think right around here is what the track is supposed to sound like. But yeah, I had a lot of fun working on that one, so I'm hoping that I can kind of continue that. But yeah, I mean the basic plan here is to just go through each of these folders, through each of these games, and I don't have to put in that much effort like I did with that remix just now. So like actually what I've been doing is just, oh man, this sounds bad. Yeah, what I'm trying to do is just go through and just clean them up a little bit, just so they sound nice, then I'll come back and work on them. But yeah, this track needs, like, here's the thing, it's like I could just keep working on it, and I kind of want to, but what I was doing before before we started chatting was just going through each of the games and just trying to quickly clean them up and get them ready, so that way I can just, I don't know, just have it all in front of me and start picking and choosing what I want to work on. Because right now it's, I don't know, I made pretty good progress. I think yeah, I did have Flame. There's so many of these tracks. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so I'll just quickly clean up this Flame Man remix, and then I'll save it as a. I just save it to that main folder. And a lot of these are gonna sound kind of bad because I'm just using my template folder or my template file. So you'll see what I mean as I go along. So the first thing I do is I find out where the empty space is. So I'll just play it as I'm talking. So from here, yeah, from here to here is empty space, so I can just delete these. And just like that, it's nice and cleaned up. I changed out the instruments just a little bit so it doesn't sound like crap. And there we go. Just save it and move on to the next one. I just went right back to the same one. That's great. So yeah, if you want, I could start working on Battle Network remixes. I could just blast through some of the ones you were mentioning. I can give it a shot. I mean, why not? Break up the monotony a little bit. So you were saying I think I wrote it down. Okay, so the Nebula Gray battle and the boss battle. Okay, there's probably a lot. I'll probably go through each of them anyway, but let's just see what I can come up with. So, mind you, I haven't heard these tracks in You got this, man. I cannot wait for you to make these amazing songs. Can't wait. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I mean, I wouldn't expect them anytime soon. Like, I'm kind of. This probably take me quite a bit of time, but. Yeah, I mean, I was just about to say, I haven't listened to these tracks in, like, years, so. It might sound a little bit harsh. Here's a good list. What do you got? You writing something? Oh, it's a pretty short track actually. It's only about a minute 20. Yeah, actually, if you want to write out a list of tracks you want me to go through, I mean, like I'd more than appreciate that, man. I mean, as long as they're all Megaman related, yeah, I'll probably try and get to it. Just so you know, it's like I'm not actually a musician here, so I'm kind of like I'm going online and I'm just taking people's MIDI files and then importing them into here. So I might not be able to find exactly what you're looking for, but if I can, I mean, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I don't see why not. Oh yeah, no worries, man. No worries. I'm like, there's no stress here, no pressure. I'll take all the time I need on these, but I actually appreciate it. I appreciate that you took the time to write out a quick little list. So I'm just gonna quickly add that to my little notepad, and yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. It's cool to see other people's takes and what their interests are in the series. I obviously have my own, but. And Battle Network 2 Internet. You really got some skills for Battle Network music. It's like honestly, man, like all the work's been done for me. If I can put it if I'm being completely honest, like I could not, like I'll be straight with you. I could not program each of these notes individually because it'd take way too long, and I'm not that skilled. But with the help of other people already doing that, I'm able to just dive right in and swap out instruments and then rip out little chunks and then rearrange them, so it's not all on me, man. Like I gotta give credit to whoever made these files. Battle Network 2 Internet themes. Let's just put this on hold for a little bit. Let's check that out. Oh, I think I remember this one. It's like a, let's see. Honestly, I like the early internet themes, like before BN3. BN3 just went all like EDM, but I like the. Actually, just a sec. That sound is so annoying. But no, I really like the early Battle Network. I like the early Battle Network music. Very ambient, if I can put it that way. Where did I get those files? Which files? The like all these sounds? Or are you talking about the MIDI files? Like all of these? Like yeah, that. Sorry, I don't know what you're asking. Like, where did you get those files? So, like, are you talking about like these folders I'm in? Like the classic, the Battle Network, the Legends? Or are you talking about like my instruments, like all of these files? I know there's a bit of delay on the video, so it might be kind of weird. I'm like addressing your past question, and I don't know. It's yeah, I don't know. If you just clarify what you mean, I'll be more than happy to tell you. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot, dude. I was talking and I was on mute the whole time. Sorry. So yeah, what I was trying to explain is that little import thing I did. I'll just go over it again real quick. Oh, I feel so stupid. So yeah, these folders that you're asking about, I I line them up. Like I basically like these are my files, right? If I open them up, then they have my instruments loaded in. But the note data, like all the notes that are in them, I just got from a MIDI file. So what I was saying to you is if you want access to these files, like these folders, yeah, I could give them to you. But if you want to open them and start making your own remixes, then you're going to have to download Caustic. And the way to do that is if you go to their website, singlecellsoftware.com, or if you just look up Caustic 3, then you should be able to download the desktop app for free because it's free on desktop for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted these folders, I could easily share them with you. It's not a big deal to me. If anything, I would encourage more people to, get into remixes or to remix more of like Battle Network music. It's up to you. But yeah, what was I working on now? There's so many things. Let's just go back to the internet on Battle Network 2. Let's see what we can come up with here. Yeah, I apologize, man. I muted myself, so yeah. Just give me a second here. I'll be right back. So I'm just gonna play some. I don't know. There's so many tracks I was working on here. I will show you this. I don't know if you've heard of a game called Legend of Mana, but like the boss music in that game was worked on someone. Was worked by someone who worked on the music for this game. Worked at Capcom. So if you listen to this track, while I step out for a bit, it's I don't know, what I'm trying to say is it sounds like Megaman music. It sounds like Megaman X music, so I'm just gonna play that while I step out real quick. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Also, you know, like, I don't know if you're still here or not, but I'll show you something cool I was doing in Blender. Blender's that 3D modeling program that and I don't know if you've seen like my other work or the previous streams, but Blender's this little 3D modeling program that I've been playing around with. So I'll just show you. You just give me a second here. I'll show you something cool I was working on. And I'll show it to you right now. Just give me 1 second here. I don't know what's going on. It should be showing, but it's not. Weird. Let me just try and open this up again. That's so weird. I don't know why this isn't working. I mean, it should work. Just there we go. Yeah, sorry about that. A little bit of a I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. But yeah, I don't want to waste too much of your time there. I don't even know if you're still watching, but I'll just show you something cool I was working on. So, check this out. So if I turn off the overlays and if I move this over, it's kind of cool, right? But check this out. Yeah, if I add the lighting, then yeah, you get little shadows and you can move it along, and that's kind of cool, right? But check this out. It's actually in 3D. Like, that's just like a, what do you call it? Like a flat image that has a movie playing over, like an MP4 file. So with a little bit of working, like a little bit of tweaking, I was able to take a section of Freeze Man stage and just kind of model it in 3D. And I guess, how would I show? Oh, okay, there we go. So yeah, it's I don't know, it's a neat little thing I was working on, and so like what I'm trying to do is some weeks I'll be doing like Caustic live streams, which is the music, and other streams I'll be doing this Blender stuff here. But one thing I wanted to show you is where is it here? Oh, there we go. So it's right here. So yeah, I can change the color of them. I don't know if you could see that properly, but yeah, you know, just something stupid. Just something stupid I wanted to show you. Anyway, I'll probably go back to doing music because I was doing Blender like the whole, I don't know, like last week I was doing all this, so yeah, so I don't know, I'll just swap back to music. But yeah, this boss remix, like I was saying, is that's like it's I don't know, I really like that kind of music, to be honest. I was amazed when I first heard it in Legend of Mana. Okay, what else? What else? I left off at Flame Man, so I'll just go back to doing my little, like, my plan here is just to get the first 6 games out of the way and then try and move on to the next ones, because I feel like the music in the later games is probably a little bit better in my opinion, but that's fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. I was also gonna show you. Again, maybe you've left by now. I have no idea. Like, I really don't know. But I was just gonna show you the Slash Man remix I was working on. Not working. I did this remix some time ago. I just put it in here. Again, I really like this track, so I took the time to I took the time to try and clean it up and remix it a bit. So yeah, that was the first iteration, and then in the last iteration, the one I put up, I tried to rearrange it a little bit. It doesn't sound, I don't know, it sounds kind of weird. I'm not gonna play the whole track. I mean, like, you've already heard it, you know what it sounds like, but and of course, I remixed the intro theme from Megaman 7. Like, I grew up on Megaman 7, so that is not what it's supposed to sound like. Give me one, I don't know what's going on. That sounds kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie, but it's... I don't know what's going on. That's sick, though. Yeah, I think I just discovered something. I don't know what's going on. Like, it's not supposed to play this slow, but... Yeah, that plays normally. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but... I actually want to slow it down again. That's hype. But yeah, sorry. And of course, Shade Man stage I was working on. Yeah, I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna go back to my little plan here. I'm just gonna quickly clean up the rest of these tracks and then get them all ready. But I don't know, maybe next time I'll just start working on Battle Network tracks or something. I mean, the only reason I'm doing the Classic series is just because there's so many of them to go through, so kind of just want to get them out of the way first. I'm not gonna work on that too long. This is an example of a track that I put a little bit more effort into. Slowed it down, changed the vibe of it, extra drumming. So yeah, that definitely needs a little bit more work. I mean, it's decent. It's a nice start, but I feel like a little bit more work on that could probably make it sound a lot more better. But that being said, I think okay, maybe I think not. I should go back and do the Mega Man 1 tracks. I'm just trying to keep track, like, if how many bosses are in Mega Man 1? Oh, okay, yeah, there's only 6 of them, so yeah, so what like, basically what I'm trying to do is I'm just counting. It's like, do I have 6, like I guess the first game had 6 bosses. So I only have 2 right now. So I'm just going to quickly do the same thing, clean them up a little bit, and then just place them, what is it? What do I have? Bomb and a leg. So that way it's just, I can get this classic series out of the way and just be done with it. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't really like Cutman's music, or like, I don't know. I kind of prefer like the later games music, because I just feel like they really found their sound, I guess is like how you'd say it. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I get that we're working with limitations, right? I mean, I don't think I would be able to come up with something as good as that on with limited hardware, but yeah, what I'm saying is, I don't know. I like their tunes. They're very catchy, very upbeat. But I don't know. I just prefer the later stuff. Some people are like, like they have really strong nostalgia for those original tunes, and that's fine. Because I'm the same way with Mega Man 7, right? I mean, that's like the first classic game I played, but But yeah, I'm not even listening to this. Yeah, I don't want to get too absorbed into fixing these because it's my idea is if I don't enjoy it initially, then chances are I'm probably not going to enjoy it at all. I mean, not at all. I mean, I'll enjoy it, but not every track they put out is a great one. Let me just put it that way. And it's pretty reasonable. I mean, a lot of the stuff in the series is really well done, but some of them are just kind of hard to work with. But again, it could be, that could just be me. Maybe I'm just not good enough to work with them, but yeah, I don't know. So here I go, like, I'm getting into it now. I want to fix it. Like, I want to add in some extra drumming, but I'm like trying to refrain from that. All I want to do is just do a basic instrument swap and then move on to something else. There we go. I'm sorry, it kind of grew on me. Damn it, I can't help it. It's like I want to fix it. Like there's like a pattern I have in my head that's like it's. Okay, I'll leave it. Like I know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna waste the rest of the stream fixing that. But it kind of shows like not all these classic tracks were bad or like were annoying. Some of them like this is part of the reason I like this project so much. Like I think I've said it earlier in the stream, but I'll say it again is I kind of force myself to listen to these tracks and like I have this itch to kind of fix them, go in and change that instrument, or it's like, oh wait, that pattern would sound sick with this bass on it, you know what I mean? And it just kind of snowballs from there. It's like all of a sudden now I spent like 30 minutes just working on a Gutsman remix. But yeah, so I don't know what else to say other than just gonna hurry up with these tracks and try and get them just get them lined up so I can do another pass on them later. It's like it's hard to resist, but I'm just like I have to keep moving on. I think I got all the Mega Man 1 stages now. Let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So let's check Mega Man 2. So I'm just going to assume that there's 8 bosses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Okay, so I'm missing... I don't even know who the bosses are. Let's just take a look. Oh, Metal Man. Okay, yeah, that Metal Man remix I was working on, yeah, so... I just save that to the folder. And then I think it's just... Did I have Quick Man? Let me see. Air, Bubble, Crash, Flash, Heat. Yeah, I did have Quick Man, so it's Woodman. Okay. I think at this point in the stream, I'm kind of like running out of steam, so I'm kind of just zoning out on a track when it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to get distracted because it's like, you know, I'm right here and I'm like the file's right in front of me. Why not just fix it? So let's check. Let's do another check. So air, bubble, crash, flash, heat, quick, wood, and then metal. I think yeah, metal is somewhere down at the bottom. So let's check Mega Man 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing 2 from 3. But who? Also, you like the name of Snake Man? A little joke from Metal Gear Solid if you're not familiar with that. So what was I missing here? Hard Man. Oh, I don't know if you're still here or not, but there's a remix of Top Man you can listen to. I was working on. In my opinion, it sounds like it's from a Kirby game. Oh, what? Equalize. Hey, Titan, forgive me for lurking during your last few sessions, but no, 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 dude, don't even worry about it. Like, I don't expect people to, constantly keep me company or try to keep chatting with me. I mean, the whole point of these streams is like I'm just doing my thing, you do your thing. Like, if you want to chat, that's fine, but I understand people are busy. I mean, go do the dishes or go do some laundry or something. I don't know. Do whatever you gotta do, man. I mean, it's all good with me. But yeah, I was just chatting with tonight's also a very heavy workload for me. Oh, I really appreciate that, man. It's good to know that I guess someone out there is listening to it. But yeah, man, I mean, I imagine you're probably bogged down with a bunch of work right now, and you got your own life to live, your own responsibilities. So yeah, by all means, man, I appreciate it. Like you shouldn't feel obliged to engage or chit chat. I mean, whether like it's kind of weird to say, but whether or not you're here or not, like I'll probably just still be doing this. So, but I really do appreciate that. So yeah, I don't know if you've been listening in or not, but I was just chatting with some other guy about like Battle Network music, and I'm pretty much almost done lining up all these classic tracks, and then yo, you know Legend of Mana? Are you kidding me? Oh, dude, check this out. Still a work in progress. Yeah, I completely forgot I wrote that. I was like, how the hell did he know I was working on Legend of Mana? Yeah, it's weird that the person who composed this worked at Capcom before, so they kind of had that Megaman influence, I guess. It still needs work, but yeah. I don't know, this track is hype, man. I love this track. And that game is sick, man. It's such a fun game to play. This is something I look forward to. I really appreciate that, man. I really do. Thank you. Oh, while this is playing, I can show you a little, something fun I did in Blender. So yeah, I'll just show you something. Oh yeah, Blender's open right now. Perfect. So yeah, I was. Oh, I ruined the surprise. I'll just show it to you. I'll just shut up and show it to you. But check this out. Check this out. It's in 3D. Basically, that's just like a movie playing over a flat image, right? And I learned how to do some some weird Blender magic to it. But yeah, it's cool. Like I can animate this little guy running, or like whatever other animations I can find. But I don't know, just something cool. Something cool I figured out that I figured I'd want to kind of share, I guess. And the other thing I wanted to show is I just changed that view. I can change his color, like in real time. It's just a hue, like a hue slider thingy. I don't know what you'd call it, but I don't know. It's kind of cool. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you that real quick. It's just something stupid. What were you asking here? You made a remix from the Mana series that you included in... Yeah. So, that was the... What was that from? The Snowfield stage. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with Legend of Mana, but that Snowfield stage, yeah, that's the remix I did for it. Which is kind of just random because I wasn't even thinking about that. I just stumbled upon it and I was just kind of fell, like, I don't know, I kind of just enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, I animated that. Yeah, so I basically just found like a little, like a move, like a, what do you call it? Like a GIF or a GIF. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I found that online and I just popped it. I basically just converted that to an MP4. And then I took a flat sheet in Blender, that white sheet I was showing, and I made it play that movie over top of it. And then I just did some transparency effects. So, yeah, long story short, you get him running around in that 3D space, even though he's like a 2D. It's kind of like a Paper Mario effect. That's kind of how to explain it. And yeah, I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate that. It's fun to do this stuff in 3D. Is it possible to change the hue of just his outfit? Yeah, so I was gonna try and figure that out actually, but I don't know. I didn't want to spend too much time tampering with it, but I imagine it would be like, how do I explain it? So this is just the image of him, or like the movie, right? So it comes into this hue saturation value node, and as I change the hue, and it's not gonna show because it's not. Yeah, so he wasn't selected, it was something else. I can explain it better like this. So let's take this tree. It has an image on it, so I could take hue. And it's not working. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, I was in the wrong viewport. So yeah, like it's basically like if you were like opened up like Paint or Photoshop. You take an image and then you start messing with like the hue and saturation and stuff like that. I haven't found a way to not change his skin color, but here's what I think you would need to do if I can do it. My idea would be like you'd take an MP4, but it would be like multiple layers. So like instead of this one sheet, it'd be like another sheet, but like that would be the helmet, and that would be like his body or something like that. You know what I mean? Kind of like how you do your videos, where you talked about you have like multiple layers or something that you change the hues for. So like the helmet or like the chest piece, the legs. So that's the only way I can think of, and that's like a lot of work that I don't even know how to do yet. So, but maybe there's a way. Like maybe there's a way to say like, this highlighted section should be ignored or something like that. So yeah, long story short, I have no idea, but it's I don't know, it's just fun to play with. Kind of cool though. I mean, like you can also, I guess instead of just doing that, I could also do something like a color ramp. So like I could slide, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Yeah, exactly, dude. You need to have every frame of the MP4 to be set. So it'd be like I would have, let's say for example, like 1, 2, 3, 4 MP4 files. So like imagine 4 different sheets. One is the helmet, one is the arms, and they're all lined up exactly. You know what I? Oh, not like that, but they're all lined up like. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. I'm terrible at this. They'd be like that, something like that, right? They'd just all be lined up, and And yeah, so it would be tricky. I mean, it'd be kind of weird. You'll admit that you did kind of cheat to make that MMX remix. Well, what do you mean? Like, wasn't it like this? Like, you had the helmet as one layer, then the arms as another layer? Like, I don't know. I mean, it just feels like it'd be like, I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I mean, Blender's pretty intricate. There's some really cool stuff you could do. Holy crap. 8 separate iterations, and you just stack them in reverse order so they'd appear and had them fade out at intervals. Oh, dude, that's so sick. So yeah, kind of like I guess kind of what I'm rambling about here. You kind of just have like different layers and, okay, that's messed up, man. Honestly, you got me curious now. I'm like, is there a way to mask part of the image so that it's ignored? I know there's like a masking function in Blender. I just don't know enough about it to pull that off. I don't know. My idea is like if I can get away with just modifying this one MP4 file and just masking his skin to not change, then yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Like I'd be able to come up with a, I don't know, let's just say for example, what am I trying to do here? Like, I don't know, let's just come up with a few colors. So like maximum red and max blue or green. And then yeah, I don't know, another color would be like yellow or something like that. So now if I were to go into this, yeah, he appears pretty messed up. I did have them as separate layers, but FL Studio wouldn't let me adjust the hue of his suit since the base value was blue, so they just looked like greenish. Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess that might be a limitation of FL Studio's I don't know what you'd call it, video editor. But yeah, so like I guess what this color ramp is doing is basically saying there's 4 colors. So like this is the basic Megaman image, right? This is what we just saw. I don't know how to. Yeah, this is the image, right? This is like the base image. I run it through this node, and what this node is saying is there's 4 colors, or I guess yeah, there's 4 colors, and it's basically saying that the majority of the image should be green because it takes up more space. And if I reduce that, then it's like, yeah, it's, I don't know, what I'm doing is pretty bad. Like, it's not gonna help at all, but yeah, I don't know. So you just made the different colors in a different program, and then you imported them as separate images. Oh, okay. Z game editor, that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly it seems like a really powerful tool, man. Considering the visuals in your remixes, they're always so well done. So I mean like it's I don't know, I I don't know what I'm saying, man. It's just like it's to do that with FL Studio is kind of like it's intense, man. Like, and I thought like Blender was hard enough to work with, but I don't know. I couldn't imagine working like in that Z game editor. I've tried it a little bit, but my stuff never ended up that good. It was just a basic, visualizer that bumps up and down and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know why I opened up this sword when I was just chatting. Let's see, what else was I working on here? That Slash Man stage, so like... Oh no, absolutely, dude, trust me. Like, when I saw like your visuals on that, I was like, wow, I'm like, so that's what you could do with FL Studio. It actually looks like... Not just like it looks good, but like the way it, like, I guess it reacts to the music, but the way it's done is, I guess, through just manual editing that you've done, so... I don't know. I'd say keep it up, man. Like, it just looks... It probably takes you quite a bit of time to do, but I think it's time well spent, to be honest. And, yeah, so... I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I just stopped doing music and now I'm back in Blender for whatever reason. But I just wanted to give you a brief example of that hue shifting thing again. So like I could actually, you know what I'll do is I'll make this its own material. Let's just call this grass. And now if I change this, yeah, so this object is the only thing that has, like before, if I clicked on this and started changing, it would change like the whole image because they all share the same material. But yeah, so what's cool is that the automation for visuals in Z Game Editor uses the same formatting as automation risers. Oh, so it's intuitive then. It's not like it's something new that you have to. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Damn, see, it makes me want to open up FL now and get back into it, but yeah, I'm hopeful I will do that, to be honest. Like, after this little Caustic project is done with, then yeah, I think I'm just gonna... I'll just move on to FL Studio, and yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to using that Z Game Editor. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like using Blender, you know, I like doing my little animations, but for something like... I don't know, I think it'd be fun to play around with. Oh, dude, trust me, the visuals are a nice break from all that music. It is a different kind of thinking. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, like, it's kind of like, it's kind of weird to explain, but the way I've been doing this is like, I take the background and I just trace over it and then cut out like a section, and yeah, it's not a big deal. What else did I do? I know I did a bunch of these Megaman 1 stages, but they came out really... I don't know, they're kind of bland in my opinion. I realized that, like... what do you call... These 8-bit stages are kind of blocky, and they don't really... They don't really lend themselves well to, like... to 3D. I guess you could say it kind of looks like... It kind of, like, reminds me of Minecraft, right? Got nothing against Minecraft, but... But yeah, compared to the what do you call it? Compared to the 16-bit games, I mean, like, there's just so much more detail to play around with, and I don't know, I just enjoy it more. That was the one, yeah, I think we did this one on stream. This fireman stage. I did something else, I'm just trying to remember where it was. Oh, I think I know where it was. It was in... Yeah, okay, here we go. So you can see what I'm saying is like, I took that background image and I literally just traced a cutout of it, and like that's now like the... that's like what... I don't know, it's like a really cheap way to make 3D. Kind of looks bad in my opinion, but... What was I gonna show you? Where is he? Yeah, I think I'm not... I think I gave up... Not gave up. I think I stopped working on these at Crashman, but let's see. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of detail in these, like in these 8-bit stages. Like, don't get me wrong, they look decent, but... I don't know, compared to Slashman stage, it's... This feels kind of like those 3D diorama or lightbox projects that you sometimes see people make and sell as... Yeah, yeah. That's what it kind of reminds me of too, like little dioramas, but they're so jagged and like... and ugly looking in my... Like, not theirs, like I mean the ones I've been making. This one's decent. Let's see. Actually, yeah, that's a fun thing I like to work with. Like, I like to have it... Oops. I like to have it in this flat view, so it's like, oh, okay, it just looks like this image, right? But then when you rotate it, it's like, it's in 3D. I'll admit, like, you know, working on 8-bit, it's kind of easy to work with just because it's all, like, blocky, and it's... I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's probably just me. Yeah, so that tracing and cutting thing, let's see if I can find an example. This is so weird to me. It's like, sorry, just give me 1 second here. I could swear I did. Yeah, there we go, Heatman. I just didn't pick it. Okay. I think this is probably the best kind of 8-bit one that I did here, so just because I added a little bit of depth to it. But yeah, so I'll just show you a quick example of that cutting thing I do. So if I go to, I guess, yeah, I can go back to, do I have Springman? Let's see. No, I don't. Yeah, I'll just go back to Slashman. I'll do it again. So if I just hide, or I solo this. So what is that? That's, yeah, this is like an image. So yeah, I'll just show you how I do it. So I basically, okay, so this is the object, right? The sheet. So I come into this view where I can see the image texture on it. And right now I'm in object mode, which you can tell, I don't know, it's like, anyway, if I hit tab, I go into edit mode. There's already a cut I did here like before, but we can ignore that for now. Or I can just get rid of it actually. Or maybe not. Yeah, okay, I can't get rid of it. Not a big deal. So yeah, I'll just show you. Let's say I want to trace this bush up here. I mean, this might take a bit, it won't take too long. It really depends. So the way I go about this is I select my object, I go into edit mode, I hit K. I'll just make this a little bit larger. Hit K. And now I come into this little knife tool. So how I go about this is I basically just start at a point here, and so I click here, and so from this point to this point will be a cut. But if I want it to be, you know, pixel perfect and straight, I just tap A and I get these angle constraints. So with a little bit of tweaking, like with a little bit of time, it's basically like this. So I'll click here, maybe come down, like it depends on, like you can almost imagine like you have an image, like a piece of paper in front of you. How fine do you want the details? Like when you're cutting out this image out of the newspaper. So I'll kind of rush it just because, you know, I don't want to waste too much time here rambling, but basically just make little cuts. Or I guess I could make them straight, but not a big deal. Sometimes I'll do them straight, you know, I'll try to at least like have like consistency across it, you know what I mean? Like I can almost kind of see that black outline, so I can kind of follow it to make these cuts. And that will make it look, like, in my opinion, a lot better. But just to do a quick rush job, you know, I'm not gonna play with those angles. I'll just kind of cut it as I just do it by eye, basically. And the cool thing is, like, I mean, yeah, I mean, you could cut out each individual blade if you wanted to, but I'm kind of lazy, so I just cut out the outline. I mean, it works for me, so yeah, I don't know, sometimes it just acts a little bit weird like that, but yeah, like I was saying, that's what I was trying to I was hoping I could get rid of that line, otherwise it kind of interferes with, my work here. But yeah, this is basically how I make the plants. I mean, I think when I was doing it like before, I think I followed it with constraints, so it was more like pixel perfect. But you know, just as an example, I would just kind of hurry it up and just give you the gist of like what I'm doing here. You can see how that can get tough with really fine details. I mean, like, especially working with low resolution images that blur. Speaking of that, actually, if you give me 1 second here, yeah, I think that should be good enough. I'll just hit enter on it. So I cut out my little outline, I select my face, and again, it's like, okay, I'll just make one last cut here. Just bring it down like that. So yeah, and then I can just separate out the selection and then move it on. Why wouldn't it let me? Okay, like P, separate by selection, select it, hit G to move, and there we go. It's like that's the cutout that I made. And then what I do is I go back into edit mode with this. So what I did was I cut out a section from that initial image and then I made it its own object. So what I do after that is I just hit E, like I select all those faces, hit E, extrude it out a little bit, and there you go. It's a 3D cutout object that looks so bad. But yeah, like you were saying, that knife is handy. Yeah, it's actually a lot funner than I was expecting it to be. But yeah, so the reason it's low resolution like that is because of this. Yeah, it's an image setting somewhere here. It was, oh, I know where it is. I'll just turn that into my shader editor. So it has to do with this image. Like this is the background image that we're looking at, right? If I change it to closest, it becomes a lot more traditionally like closer to what the actual art is. And it's a good thing you brought that up, man. Like I'm actually really glad you brought that up because that's kind of on my to-do list to go back through those other renders. And you see, like if I do linear, it looks kind of like black, like it looks bad. But if I go to closest, it has like a nice, clean, pixelated look to it. So I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm glad you brought that up because that just looks like 10 times better than all blurry, right? Yeah, right on. I don't know what the other settings do, but yeah, I don't really concern myself with those. But yeah, that looks sick. Considering it's like you can see, there's a bit of the background here that if I followed it to the pixel, it would come out a lot more cleaner. But yeah, that's basically the gist of how I was making these plants, right? Like how I made these and what I did here, how I got it to fold. So if I go back to that flat image, just solo this out. So right, I guess, yeah, I did it before. Okay, let me just get rid of these faces. So I have the flat image, right? What I ended up doing, yeah, that does make an immediate difference. It looks so much better, man. But to get it to bend like that, so I wonder if I can delete that line in the middle. Yeah, it's good enough. So now it's just one nice big object. So this is a flat sheet, right? And I want to make little bends. I want to make it wave a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll go into edit mode. And you can tell I'm in edit mode by this, like the way it's, well, I guess you could just read up here, like object mode, edit mode. But one way to check is if you're in edit mode and I have face select on, which means, like, so I don't want to get too technical. I mean, all these little dots you might be seeing here are the vertices. I can move those around and stretch the image. And then you hit number 2, those are the edges, like these lines. So the lines you could think of as like the lines between vertices, and then if you select a bunch of these vertices, which I can't because I'm struggling. But anyway, so yeah, I basically just, like, this is how you know you're in edit mode, if you have face select. So now that I'm done ranting about that, what I do with this little trick is I hit Control R. Okay, that doesn't work because, okay, let me just back it up a little bit and I'll try and explain what I'm doing. So if I take a regular plane, I'll just rotate it 90 degrees. So I take this plane, right? And I want to bend it into a wavy shape. So because this is like a, I guess you could say a perfect square, or I guess it's not perfect anymore. But if I go into edit mode, if I hit Control R, do you see these yellow lines appearing on? Let me get closer on that. Those yellow lines, those are called loop cuts. So it's almost as if I took my knife from top to bottom, so it kind of splits them. So now these, like, this has two different faces, right? So yeah, exactly. Like I think that's how you describe it, is like when I'm using that little knife tool, I'm creating these separate vertice points that are like the little cuts. So if I were to follow it pixel perfect, it would obviously look a lot cleaner, but yeah. So what I'm just trying to explain here is, like, if I go to this sheet, like this fresh sheet that I just put down, and I want to make it wavy and bend, I'm just gonna get rid of that. So what I'll do is I'll add loop cuts, okay? So you can think of each of these lines as a point where this piece of paper can bend. So if I just add in 4 of these, hit enter, and I select the middle face, and if I try and drag it out, it bends a little bit, not too much, right? It's decent. But if I turn on this little setting here, proportional editing, then as I pull it out, you see that white circle around it? I can start making, like, influencing it more and more. So I could take that flat sheet, add some cuts to it, or those lines, and now I have a nice round sheet of paper. So, I kind of like that shape, so I'll bend it back, but I'll zoom in a little bit so the influence is smaller. And now I get a nice folded paper. Anyway, so what I'm saying here is, if I just solo this again, I can't do loop cuts. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's not a perfect square or there's too many vertices. But if I try to add them, it just adds these dots. So I figured out a trick to get around that. And that goes right back to that knife tool. So I just select a spot, hit A for the constraint, and it's kind of hard to see because it's green on green, but there's my dot that I'm going to be cutting. And if I put it on the edge, it kind of snaps to it. But if I go above it, it can still make the cut there, and then I can hit enter, right? So there's that new vertice. More like that's the new face. So what I'm getting at here is, in a very convoluted way, I just take my knife, start at a place, angle constraint, just shoot it straight up, and then cut. And then now that's another separate face. Kind of, like, does it kind of make sense to you? I mean, actually, let me do that. That's a lot easier to see. So if I just do like that, and then, oh. I mean, they don't have to be perfectly straight lines. I just kind of like doing that because it's just easier to fold it. So now if I take, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I can manipulate it a little bit so that grass can wave. And then the final touch, what I can do is make it, give it some depth. So I highlight all the faces, hit E. Let me just turn off proportional editing. Oh. Yeah, so highlight all the faces, tap E, and then I could drag them out just, well, it doesn't matter like how thick it has to be, but... And there you go. You took a flat plane, we added some cuts to it, we folded it, and then we extruded it to give it that depth. If I did it right now, like if I tried to make those cuts now, if I tried to make those cuts now, it would be a little bit more difficult because there's more geometry to cut through. So it's a lot easier to do it through just like a flat plane or that flat sheet of paper. Yeah, it's kind of like making creases in paper, and that's like a lot of what this kind of reminds me of. Is back to that diorama thing you were talking about. Is it just kind of feels like playing with paper, like paper crafts or something like that. And yeah, I guess I just turned off a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that extrusion effect is sick, man. So I'll just do a quick one over here. So, again, I just like to hide the stuff that I don't need to see. So it just kind of, it doesn't obscure my vision. So we'll cut out these plants. First of all, we'll go to the shader again. Yeah, it's on closest. Yeah, so. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, so you might notice that little orange outline. That's how I know this object is selected. So, like, it's, for example, if I name this ground, then you can see here shrub short, I guess, .001 is selected, and ground is selected. So it's important because the way, like, very, very unorganized way I did my materials was I kind of just let everything share the same material, and some not, but anyway, for this example, what I'm saying is I'm going to select this object and I'm going to change its texture to closest. So now it's nice and pixelated. Because if I did linear, it's kind of hard to judge where I should make those cuts. So I'll just put it on closest. So now it's a lot easier to see, actually. So with that being said, and again, I think this should work because it's still flat images that I'll be cutting through. Like, it's not, like, I'm not going to be cutting throughout the whole thing. I'm just cutting out a flat sheet of paper from it. So I'll just do it real quick. Let's see what I can come up with here. So if I start from here, and to be honest, like, this is part of the reason why I like listening to like SCP stories or you know, like random music or like podcasts, because don't get me wrong, like, this looks boring, it looks tedious, but honestly I kind of enjoy it. If you get the right mood, if you get the right music going, or you get a nice little story you're listening to, then it's just relaxing, to be honest. Like, music is so different. Like, I'm like touching back on what you were saying about working on the visual stuff. Like, it is a different thought process, man. Like, I find music can be very engaging, I would say. Like, you have to think, and you have to kind of, you have to be really active with it. Well, some music, I guess the music I work on is like that, because I work on like such higher energy stuff all the time. But yeah, I imagine if I worked on like ambient stuff, it would probably be a little bit different. So I don't know if I'm not gonna keep these constraints. I'm just gonna do it by hand, but I will try to follow the pixels. So, and I may have made a mistake because this is like the biggest sheet to do. So you know what I'll do, actually? I'll do half, because I can see it kind of repeats itself. Yeah, I'm just gonna rush it. Like, I don't need to. I don't like. I mean, if I wanted to make it perfect, I could, but honestly, there's no point in. Even if it's extruded, it looks like you can still cut it as long as it's still on the same 2D plane. Exactly. So, like, what I'm cutting is just that flat 2D plane, so it should be able to, like, it should work. I mean, like, it doesn't matter if it's extruded or not. I guess what I was trying to say was, before you think about extruding it, you should add those creases so you can bend it, because bending it when it has depth to it is a little bit more difficult. Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to say. I'm surprised though, man. Like, the fact that you're like catching on and like you understand what, like, I don't know why this is giving me trouble. The fact that you're like catching on and you know what I'm doing, like, it's, honestly speaking, man, I think you might like Blender. I mean, it is a little bit intimidating at first, but I don't know. I have a feeling that you'd probably make some pretty amazing stuff with it, especially considering the way you have that attention to detail in like in your visuals, like in your music. I don't know. All I'm saying is, I think you could probably come up with some pretty cool visualizers in Blender. It's a lot easier than you would think. I mean, like, the tools, they're not that complicated to learn, to be honest. They're kind of intuitive if you once you get into it, of course. But yeah, let's see how far I am. I'm almost done this one, so. So what I'll do is I'll just make a line that comes down here. I know it's not perfect, but that's okay. And just like that, so now. Well, oh yeah, okay, so let me just see here for a second. Yeah, that's pretty much what I cut out. So I'll just hit P, separate it so it's its own object now. And what I like to do is go back to object mode, and what I do is I double tap A so everything is unselected. Then I can just grab that little sheet that I cut out. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like this digital art stuff, like it's no joke. Like it's a ton of work to put into it. But I don't know. I feel like you have that knack for like that attention to detail kind of that knack. I don't know that. I feel like you have like a nice attention to detail that you put into your work, and in my opinion, a lot of this 3D modeling stuff is just that. It's I mean, yeah, you can do flashy stuff with it. You can make cool animations and stuff. But what I just did was like incredibly tedious and boring. But I mean, look at the results. I mean, well, sort of. Like, it doesn't look the best. Like, don't get me wrong. It looks kind of ugly, but I mean, I don't know. It's not too bad. I mean, I could put this like as a prop in like the stage somewhere. I don't know where I'm going with this. And you explain things in a way that's accessible and thorough. It's engaging to follow along with your process. I appreciate that, man. Like honestly, I was really reluctant to do these kind of vocal things. I was like, well, number one, I don't even know how to like teach. Like I don't really teach people what I do. Number two is like I always figured like it might not be that interesting, but I don't know. I guess it kind of helps me learn as well if you think about it like that. When I'm trying to explain it in like a simple sentence or in a basic way, then it kind of just solidifies my own understanding of it. So I don't know. I guess it goes both ways. I help you and you help me. The last thing I was gonna try and do with this before I end it, because it's getting kind of late here, is I wanted to see if I could give it like what do you call it? Like some depth to it. Let me try and explain it as I go here. So what a bump node will do. So let me just make some room here. And I'll try my best to explain what I'm doing here. So it's like this is the shader editor, which is where I'm controlling all these materials and and just bear with me for a second here. So let me see if I can explain this. In 1 second here. Why is this so shiny? Yeah, so okay, so what I'm trying to say here is with this little setup here, I'm like just focus on these right here. This is the image that we have. I'm taking the color data and I'm putting it into a color ramp, which lets me fine tune how much of these colors do you want to display, okay? Like I don't know if that effect is showing properly or if it I guess this is a bad example because like I don't quite know how to work with this just yet. Let's see if I can I actually, you know what, I can explain it in a better that's exactly it though. I find that exact same phenomenon to be true. That explaining things to others helps a lot solidify your understanding. Exactly, man. Like it's strange. I mean, like I never really saw myself as trying to explain what I do. I was just kind of shut up and did my own thing. But honestly, it's been a lot of fun to just stream and chit chat and try to explain as I go, like what I'm doing. But just to end it right here, let's I'll just try and explain what I was doing just now, that thing that I failed at. I think I failed at it because I don't have like a solid understanding of it. So let's take a flat plane. It has no material. So what I'll do is come into the shader editor. I don't need these extra windows, so I just close those up. So I have this. This has no material on it, hence the that blank look on it. Is that effect called gamma, drawing out the light from the inside out? I don't think it is gamma. I know what you're talking about very vaguely because I don't really deal with gamma. But what I'm trying to say is, so I'm just gonna quickly add a material here. So I just split. Actually, let me split the view a little bit easier to see. So when I create a new material for this, I have access to all these different parameters, right? I can make it red, blue, green. I can make it shiny and metallic. You can change a bunch of properties. I can make it look more reflective. Like that's the little... Actually, I'll use a better light. Use a spotlight and try and show it. So yeah, you can see the spotlight here. So if I turn down the metallic... yeah, so I guess that's a better way to explain it. It's like, how shiny does this object look? So ignoring all of that, I'll actually just reset those. So I have a nice dark blue material. And I will... Yeah, sorry, I was just turning on the light source in here just so I could see it a little bit better. Anyway, so what I'm saying is... what I'm saying is I'll take a brick texture. I'll take that color data, I'll put it in... Like, I'm gonna replace that blue color with this texture color. And this texture color has some color... I'm saying color over and over. This texture color has some value, like some colors that I can change. So I can make it green, you know, I can change the mortar color. Like the mortar's that black in between. I can change how, like the bias, so like between color 1 and 2, what should appear more often, green or you know, whatever. Anyway, so let's say I have, just go back to the, just reset it a bit. I'll use some pretty extreme colors just to kind of show it off a little bit better. Or not, I'll leave it default, I mean, it's not a big deal. Not really bad at explaining this. So what I'm trying to show here is, this is flat, right? This is completely flat. So what I was trying to do with that plant was I was trying to add this bump node. So what does a bump node do? So what it does is I'm taking the color data from this texture and I'm putting it into this height. So it doesn't, you can kind of see it. It kind of looks like it's raised up a little bit now, but I can fine tune that. And how I can do that, well, I can add this color ramp in between. So between this color, there's a color ramp that I can control that feeds into this height. So if I just turn up the strength a bit, we might be able to see it better. So, and maybe if I invert it. So anyway, what I'm trying to say here is, if I start playing with these values, these sliders, yeah, you can see it right there. That's a really good example, like how to show it. So what I'm saying is that it almost looks like there's depth to it, like it's being raised off the ground. You see what I mean? So like if I reduce that, it just looks flat, right? Completely flat. Now if I start playing with these, it actually almost looks like it's been, like there's some fake depth to it. Like it, I'm really bad at explaining this. Like it's like there's a lot, like there's many examples that are a lot better than my ramblings, but oh, it's probably with the brick width a little bit, or not that, the mortar size. So I could change like how, yeah. I don't know, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with these, actually, I think that's what I wanted. Yeah, there we go. So do you see that little line there in between these, like these, yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to show you. Oh, okay, there we go. So essentially what I'm saying is, without that bump node, okay, it looks good. You know, it's obviously flat, but I can add in this fake depth to it by having those, I don't know, like slants to it or something. So now if I play with this just a little bit more, if I make it nice and metallic, or yeah, like metallic, that's decent. Why not? And I'll just change out the world color so it doesn't affect it. Or I guess it should. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm at the end of the stream here, to be honest. I just wanted to show you that little trick. So what I was trying to do with those plants was I was trying to tell Blender that if you see these shadows, then like if you see the black color, I don't like honestly I don't know how to explain it, to be honest. Like all I'm saying is there's a black color on this texture image, so I'm specifying that if there is black, I want more of it or less of it to be prevalent in this texture in this depth thingy here. So but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna end it here, man. Like it's already gone on too long trying to explain what I'm doing, and it's I don't know. You can almost like you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm adding like fake depth to it without actually having to extrude like the actual object. But if I did, probably it will work a little bit better. Yeah, you can see like those creases in there. Like that's what, like when you zoom out, that's what gives it that bit of depth to it. Oh, this node base. Oh man, like I wouldn't even get into this stuff if it wasn't for this like node base editor stuff. Like I guess it kind of reminds me of when I used to play with Dreams, but I mean it's pretty easy to understand. I'll be honest, I don't fully understand this, but there's basic stuff like that color node will always have that yellow circle, so you know it's supposed to plug into the next yellow circle. And it's just basic stuff. Like if it's on the left, it's an input. If it's on the right, it's an output. So yeah, man. I mean, Blender's it's fairly technical, but I mean, dude, I think you would kill it with this program. Like look what I did. Like within a few minutes of me struggling, I managed to come up with something fairly decent. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. I'm just gonna end it here. So I appreciate that you're sticking by, or you're just passively listening. Whatever you're doing, it works, man. Like I don't know. It makes for a better stream, absolutely, to chit chat with people. But I just want to reiterate that, like, by no means is it kind of like I'm losing my words here. I can't even think straight. There's no obligation to chat or to type. You know what I mean? Like if you want to just lurk and watch the stream or listen to it passively, I'm all good with that. But with that being said, I'm gonna end the stream here because it's getting late and I really should go to bed early. But hey, it's been good, man. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I can continue this tomorrow. And well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But with that being said, I'm just gonna end it here. So yeah, have a good night, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.